going live on LinkedIn and YouTube and X or Twitter, however you want to look at it. So good morning, everyone. My name is Matt McHale on Clubhouse here. I'm known as Matt GPT, and I'm going to be sharing the week of AI and AI updates. I'm also going to talk a little bit about more how you can use AI and kind of having a plan around that. As there's so much going on in the world of AI and with everything that's happening around us, I really encourage you to just take time to understand this more. I'm going to go a little more in detail after I share some news. Just take some time to, have a plan, put a plan together. Just like Dre was talking about in his segment of putting that plan together, put a plan together around using AI and how you can do it better and how you can either do it for your job, for your business, or just start something in and of itself that you're not doing right now, and just pick a skill set and pick a product or pick something that you want to do and just focus on that and just put a plan together and do something daily to do it. Because I'm going to again share about a lot of things that are going on here on the page. I have a link there that'll share. So if you guys want to click on that link, if you're in Clubhouse right now, go ahead and click on it. You can follow along with me. I also have a link to my StreamYard there. If you want to watch, you can do that. But I have all the links and everything I'm going to be talking about here are on that page. So please feel free to go ahead and follow along there. But let me jump into some news. And again, I'll get back to how we can do that. But first, let me do a quick room reset. As always, I talk about the different room resets and I used ChatGPT for a while, and now I'm using Claude since Claude has taken over on there. So let me jump over here. Oh, come on. Of course, it's not working. There we go.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast with Champions. We are live on Clubhouse starting at 4 a.m. Eastern with over 60 expert hosts who provide motivation, education, and inspiration to help you live your best life and grow your business. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook to continue the conversation. Hi, Matt. I am so excited to hear your segment today. You are always so informative and motivating. I cannot think of a better way to start my Monday morning than listening to every word you have to say about AI. If you believe any of that, Matt, you genuinely are an April Fool. Take it away, big guy.
Thank you, C. I appreciate that. I always appreciate your feedback and bringing your sense of humor into this. So I'm going to share my screen here and get started again, sharing some AI news that we have to do. But it is April Fools, of course. So happy April Fools to everyone. If you celebrate that, if you've gotten fooled yet, or whatever you want to do with this goofy day. But some of the news. So right off the bat, we now have a chief AI officer here in the U.S. If you don't know that, the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, has mandated that every U.S. federal agency appoints a chief AI officer to oversee the use of AI systems to bolster safety and transparency in AI applications within the public sector. So the U.S. government's new policy requires a chief AI officer in every federal agency to manage AI technologies and extends previous initiatives from the Biden administration AI executive orders. The DOJ has already appointed Jonathan Mayer as its first chief AI officer and plans to hire 100 AI professionals by summer, with a focus on monitoring AI systems and ensuring they meet safety and discrimination prevention standards. A big focus will be public transparency and the option to opt out of AI systems, like TSA's facial recognition, are key components for the new guidance. So that obviously will be interesting to see when they're hiring a number of professionals in AI for this. And like I said, we already have Jonathan Mayer. The systems like TSA with how they're using AI, and obviously that's going to continue to be a big part of systems and things as we go along. So the ability to opt out of that'll be interesting to see how long that can go. I think at some point it'll almost be impossible to opt out of AI. But I just think that's some of the reactions that we have now here in the U.S. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the EU and the laws that they passed recently, some of the things they're doing. But we now have a chief AI officer. So I'm gonna from now on, I'm gonna call myself the chief AI officer of Breakfast Champions here on Clubhouse until Marilyn or Christina or Dora Maria tell me I can't do that. So we don't have one yet. So I've nominated myself. So I am now the Chief AI Officer of BWC. OpenAI, who, of course, ChatGPT and Sora and other things, they now have a voice engine. So maybe I'll have to replace Claude now too, since I replaced GPT before. But OpenAI's new voice engine, it's not GPT, so it's an actually produced synthetic voices that read text prompts in the speaker's language or other languages, broadening its application scope, initial access, and is granted to select companies, including Age of Learning and HeyGen, showcasing the model's potential in education and storytelling. So, translating context into other languages. HeyGen already uses Voice Engine to translate product, marketing, sales videos, so businesses can reach a global audience. You can, testing on hundreds of marketing audio ad versions featuring different voices and language to see which performs best before you actually launch something. An AI-generated podcast. I've talked about this before. There's actually AI-generated podcast and audio content. Perplexity already offers a podcast called Discover Daily that uses AI voice from 11 Labs to curate news summaries. So that's what I'm using now is 11 Labs. And how I use for the voiceover, but OpenAI is supposed to be able to do this and do it very quickly, so they're able to within just I think it said 15 seconds, being able to duplicate your voice and doing that. So that'll be interesting. Ahmad Musteek was the CEO of Stability AI, and I talked about this a few times that they were having problems, and before so if you listen to him and why he stepped down is one thing. There's a Forbes article says how Stability AI's founder tanked his billion-dollar startup just the other day. So there's a little bit of a difference of opinion on what happened and why it happened. He said, he told the board of directors he's stepping down to pursue decentralized AI. Stability AI offering paid memberships for the commercial use of its models to help fund his research. Said to be costing $8 million daily, which is why he stepped down. He claimed that they were not going to beat centralized AI and more centralized AI. So it's time to ensure that AI remains open and is decentralized. So following his departure, the board has appointed two other people, Sean Chang Wan and Christian Lafort, who while they search for a permanent CEO. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. He's saying he's stepping down to continue with the centralized AI. They're saying he stepped down because it was a failure, and there was a number of different articles, number of different things around that. So it depends on who you want to listen to and who you believe, but he is no longer there, no longer with it. So we've talked a lot about different content being used in AI and how they're going through this, and there's a number of lawsuits and things are going on. Well, the BBC is exploring the sale of its content archive to technology companies for AI training data. Seeking new revenue streams, the UK broadcaster aims to use its television and radio archives, which is obviously a lot, to power its AI model. So it's going to have its own AI model that it wants to power, enhancing its production capabilities, particularly in journalism. Still, they are cautious about data privacy and unauthorized scraping. It emphasizes the need for a structured approach to AI collaboration, protecting the interest of its audience and maintaining control over its content. So they want to have actually their own AI model, and they're talking to big tech to help them to do that and developing that. And I think as part of them helping and doing this, they're going to allow them to use all of their content, which obviously is a lot of content, to be able to develop and go through those things. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So the next story, Google Accelerator. So this is kind of near and dear to my heart since I work a lot of nonprofits. So 21 nonprofits join our first generative AI accelerator. This a post from Google. They've initiated a $20 million accelerator program to support nonprofits using generative AI. Starting with 21 organizations, including Quill and the World Bank. The 6-month program offers funding, technical training, and Google employee support to develop AI tools for various social impacts. Despite high interest, nonprofits face challenges like cost and resource constraint in adopting of AI, prompting Google's efforts to facilitate AI integration and enhance productivity and effectiveness for the nonprofit sector. And I agree with that. Like I said, I work a lot with the nonprofits, and that's a big part of it is helping to kind of bring these AI systems and bring them kind of again into the real world of how it can actually apply and how it can help them. So I love seeing this. I love to see this more and more for the nonprofit world for them to be able to use that and start moving forward with this. Grok. We talked about Grok a lot, which is X's AI system. A couple things going on there. 1.5 is coming, they said next week. So big update coming next week. Also, Elon Musk announced that all premium subscribers of X will gain access to Grok, extending its availability beyond the high-tier Premium Plus subscribers. This is an attempt to compete with other AI chatbots and boost subscriber numbers amid declining user engagement on X. Grok, distinct for addressing topics other chatbots avoid and accessing real-time X data, may attract users with its unique features, although the platform decreasing user base poses a challenge for appeal and its value. So I've already been using it for a while, so I don't know if you can go check, on if you use X or Twitter, as we all like to still call it. You can go check to see if you have that available. I've had it available, so I can't tell if everyone's got it now, but that's been rolled out. But 1.5 should be obviously very interesting. So if you do use X, Grok adds a lot to being able to find the things you're looking for, summarize that because it's training it on all the content and everything that's on X. So go ahead, check that out if you still have an X account. If you haven't used in a while, dust it off. Check it out. You can check out Grok and see what you think of that. But they are rolling that out to everyone. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, but Anthropic, Amazon's Anthropic investment is now $4 billion. So Amazon continues to invest lots of money into Anthropic, which is Claude, which is now for a lot of people the leader of the large language models for the chatbots. The Claude is clearly the winning a lot of the competitions and then the surveys and everything that goes out there. So but Amazon continues to invest in them, even though Amazon has its own AI as well. And although they'll be maintaining a minority stake, they won't have a seat on the board. Under the deal, Anthropic will use AWS as its primary cloud provider and Amazon chips for mission critical work. I thought that was very interesting to see that. So I think them investing kind of ties them into AWS and Amazon chips. So whether that can hurt them in the long run or help them will be time will tell on that one. Obviously, NVIDIA is the leader with the chips, and if we look at different systems and how they're hosting a lot of these systems, obviously Amazon's making a play for that, and this is the way they're doing it. So it's including safety research, future models, and Anthropic has closed 5 funding deals over the past year, including $500 million from Google as well, with a commitment to increase to $2 billion, take its total funding amount to $7.3 billion. So you have two companies, Amazon and Google, both have their own systems and both developing their own AI, are still massively investing in Anthropic for the success of that as well. So that's interesting to watch. But that kind of leads me to my next point, the UXL Foundation, which is Intel, Google, ARM, Samsung, and other tech companies have formed a group called the UXL Foundation Project. Over 4 million developers use NVIDIA to create AI models. And UXL's project will gain developer another option, showing them how they can move away from NVIDIA and its software and be able to set that up. So they're competing with that with NVIDIA. So all of these companies have kind of teamed together to see if they can go ahead and do that, and they're working also with Microsoft and Amazon to ensure their code will be able to run on any chip, any AI chip. So that's something where NVIDIA has done a great job. I've talked a lot about them. I started talking about months and months ago, telling people to invest in it. So I hope some people did and made lots of money because they have been doing very well as of late and certainly capturing a lot of the market. So a lot of these larger companies are acting very quickly to see that. So I think there will be plenty more opportunities. Again, if you can kind of pay attention and see where the trends are going for investments for these companies, especially if you see new companies forming coming out of it, which I think we'll still see with OpenAI and others. you'll have the ability to do that. So keep an eye on all that stuff. The GPT store, after promising to pay GPT builders by Q1, OpenAI has announced the usage-based GPT earnings program that will allow certain developers right now, not everyone, to be able to get paid from their GPT store. So we talked a lot about that. There's, last count, there was well over 3 million GPTs on the store. It's one of those things where you could use a GPT to make another GPT and just say copy all that, and you can make your own GPT copying something that's already there. So because of open source, it's been a little wild west on there, and the things that are going on. But it'll be interesting to see how they are going to start paying that. I think to really make money, certainly the when you go into the GPT store, they highlight certain GPTs. So that'll be interesting to see how that remains, because if they're paying people and then they're highlighting people, that seems like an unfair advantage. But I think you're really going to have to highlight your own GPT to make any kind of serious money going forward in doing that. Google SGE, which stands for their Search Generative Experience, is testing platform for search-related generative AI features. Google has not announced a feature of SGE that creates holiday itineraries and queries like plan a 2-day trip to Paris around history. And it pulls all the sites and photos and user reviews for over 200 million places, and will include links to sources and travel information. So it's something where, they're kind of going after the travel industry a little bit. Do I think it's going to replace travel agents any more than it has with technology has at this point? No, I don't think so, because you can certainly have subject matter experts anywhere, and a travel agent is certainly going to be able to give you more and know more than this. But this is a really nice feature. I actually checked it out and was putting some things in there. On the feature I'm showing on the screen right now, they're showing a 3-day itinerary to Philadelphia, including a mix of historical sites. Obviously, Liberty Bell pops up first, and then different sites that are in there. So you can go check that out and see if you were planning any travel this summer. DBRX data and AI company Databricks has released DBRX, an open source large language model that can compete with some of the other ones. And this is available on Hugging Face. So you can go to Hugging Face and you can download this and being able to use this system and use it internally. So we've talked a lot about that, how companies are starting to use that more and more, building their own model with their own data. And we're going to see that more as you go into it. I have one, Financial Times done one. I'll talk about that here in a second. And you can build these and build with specifically with the information that you want to have in there and train the data. So you're allowing that whole chat bot around what your company does and what you're focusing on. So you can check that out at Hugging Face or GitHub. Either one has that, and you'll be able to download it from there. Adobe Gen Studio. If you haven't checked this out, go sign up and you can get updates. They're rolling out Gen Studio, and it's a generative AI first product that lets marketing teams quickly plan, create, manage, activate across apps and publishers, and measure on brand content. Gen Studio works independently or in conjunction with other supply chain products, is their quick description there. But it's actually a really, really good system. There's a lot in it with the Gen Studio. They have acted pretty strong in the marketplace because of Canva and what Canva has done with the marketplace and being able to take some business. And Adobe has noticed. Adobe has been long the leader in these different products that allow you to go in and build different marketing pieces and content and all those things. And Canva has done an excellent job of doing that. So Adobe has come out with a lot, and this Gen Studio is a big part of that. So go check that out. Also, Microsoft, their Copilot, they continue to make updates on that. So they have new improved AI-powered chatbot in there, and Microsoft Teams, and include new ways during meetings for chats and video calls. And Copilot can now combine meeting recordings and written chats into a single view, review chats, adding call to actions, and adhering to context and tone, and take notes during meetings. In addition, Teams will soon have automatic camera switching, which auto selects the best view of each person in a meeting, and speaker recognition to improve call transcription accuracy. So I guess if you have multiple cameras, it can work with those and be able to work with that. So so if you're using Microsoft Copilot, there you go. A couple more things here. Sora from OpenAI. We talked about this before. This is starting to be released to certain people. They're starting to build movies. They're starting to have Airhead was a big one, which is person just walking around and their head is a big yellow balloon. Has done a great job with this. That there's the post I'm looking at right now, and X is showing the top 7 movies to come out of Sora. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there as they continue to release that to the public. They've also been courting Hollywood. So OpenAI has been showing off Sora AI video generator to Hollywood executives and talking about how they can use that. I talked before that Tyler Perry had hauled it. He was going to spend $800 million on the studio, and this was just last month, and he completely halted it after seeing OpenAI's Sora. So they're waiting. There's a lot of people in Hollywood waiting to see what this is going to do, the capabilities of it, how much they can do. And do they need to build studios, or they be able to just do everything through Sora? So it'll be interesting to watch that. I mentioned the DMA, which is the Digital Marketing Act over in Europe, and they're investigating gatekeepers such as Google, Apple, and Meta for compliance issues that discourage fair competition. Meta's payer consent model, where users can either pay or they can get pay to get ad-free services, is under scrutiny. As gatekeepers are encouraging unfair accumulation of data. Google is being investigated for ranking its products over third-party services, and Apple is under fire for not allowing users to uninstall its apps from the phone, like Safari and other ones that come with it. So Europe is looking into those and using this new DMA, the Digital Marketing Act, to go after that. And lastly, I just mentioned this a minute ago. The Financial Times has launched their own new AI chatbot. So this is based on all the stuff that they have within the Financial Times. Obviously, again, a lot of data, a lot of good information in there. So you can use this chatbot moving forward to be able to ask the chatbot different questions with recent events, or if you're doing research or anything along those lines, this chatbot will allow to investigate all that and look through all those things. So again, we're going to see more and more of this as we see these companies starting to use it. Their own chatbots and be able to bring that to there. So, but again, I have a couple minutes left here, and I'll open up to see if there are any questions. But I talked again, be intentional, have a plan. So when you hear about all these news, all these things are going on there, how does it really affect you? All these different systems, all these things can affect you. On the link up there, I still have Dora Maria did last Saturday. I did a recording of that, and she talked about using a good framework on there. So I thought that was such a great episode. And I asked her or a segment, I should say, that I asked her if I could do that. And I'm still leaving that link up there. So you can go ahead, listen to what she talked about frameworks and how to use these things. There's also an LLMs from scratch. So it's from beginners to learn about large language models. If you have more questions about those, the big chatbots, how they work. But again, in using the systems, I'm going to say be intentional. Schedule daily time to really take the time to focus on what you want to do. How do you want to use these systems? Either focus on an industry, a skill set, or a system. What industry do you work in? If you want to do it again for your job, if you want to do it for your company, you want to do it specifically for your industry, or if not, if you just want to develop a new skill set and use these AI tools around that, or just pick out certain systems. Like people are just becoming experts in Canva, and I just talked about Canva and how much you can do there, or Adobe's new system and those things. So just becoming that subject matter expert in that. It's one of those things where a lot of people can use these and do good with it. Dre, in the segment before, was talking about how you got to be good with prompts and be able to ask the questions and know how to do that. So over time, can anyone do it? Yes. Will anyone do it? No. Just like anything else, if you take the time and effort and put it in there, and you can do that, you can build that skill set, and then use AI to help understand how to monetize your new skill set. So you can use the same systems to ask the questions to say, how can I now monetize that? How can I start to build this? Start with small pilot projects to prove the value before going out and making big projects. Start to build your network online and offline. Start to reach out and say, hey, I'm going to work with companies doing this, and I'm building a skill set, or I'm working with this, I'm training these things, whatever it is. I really encourage everyone to take the time to start to learn these tools and go through I put a whole list of creator tools on here. So there's a number of tools that are already in my database. If you come to my website at Arcasys, I have buttons for more AI tools. So a lot of these are already in the database where I go into longer descriptions, but I wanted to highlight some of these. I made a quick description, have links to their website like Claude, ChatGPT, Pika Labs, Runaway, Leonardo. So there's a lot of ones I've already talked about before, really good ones. 11 Labs, like I talked about for the voiceover and voice synthesization. Adobe has a speech enhancer. Time Bolt is a video editing software that can automate the process of cutting out silences from videos. You can cut down and edit the videos a lot quicker using AI. So there's so many good tools just in this list, but there's so many, hundreds and hundreds beyond this that, again, you can just go out there and figure this out, figure out what you want to do. I would focus on more of a skill set because I think, if you do the skill set, there'll be a lot of tools to complement that. My one fear of it, you just focus on a tool, that all of a sudden that tool could go away. Even the large language models, I think they'll be here for a while, but because of the investments, other things that are going on, they might, something might happen there. But there are some really good tools to focus on that you could be comfortable with. But I would go more on a skill set and do that. So I have a couple minutes left here. If anybody has any questions or any thoughts on this, please go ahead and unmic, and I can answer it before I pass the mic over to Brielle.
Hi, Matt. I have a question. This is Chris.
Sure. How are you?
Hey, good. How's it going?
Awesome.
So I am in real estate, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are in the AI for real estate, because I remember last week, I love your segments, by the way. Last week, basically saying there's so many different things, like you don't want to get caught down the rabbit hole.
Right.
Do you have any advice on where I should focus my attention on learning about AI in real estate? Like what platform?
That is a good question, and I will tell you this off the top of my head. I can't think of one specific one right now. I did talk last week about it, and I know there's going to be a lot being used, specifically around real estate, especially because of the new laws and how they're focusing on that. If you want to, get on my website and just send me a message or hit me up on Instagram, I can certainly do a little research and figure that out, because I don't want to just name. I can name a few tools, but I want to, and I know a couple people that are in the industry and doing that. I'm working with them, so I can do a little more research and answer you on that. And I think I'd rather do that than just give you one. I don't want to take you down a road that there might be better tools out there for that, but I will do that. Or I will also, when I come on next week, I will make sure I talk about that specifically. So if you don't have time this week to message me, I will cover it next week as well.
Thank you so much. I feel like you're so intriguing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else have any questions or any thoughts here? I got like another minute left. I'm going to pass it over to Brielle or Dora Maria here in a minute. But if anyone has any more questions or anything, I'd be happy to answer it. If not, again, the link at the top is going to have everything I just talked about. It's going to have links to all the websites for the creator tools I have on there, and I still have my full AI tools database that's all available for free. So you can go ahead and click on that. If you have any questions, you can contact me through my website or on Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to either answer the question, or, as I said, Christina, I will do a little more research to make sure I get you the best answer as possible, because it just helps me when I do the research. I'm learning more and getting better, so I enjoy doing that. So, okay. If not, then I will go ahead and pass this